rec leader at PSP Base Gagetown. I'm going to be reading you guys a story, a First Nation story. It's called The Sacred Herbs, and then I'm also going to show you a little bit of First Nations culture here in my own home. So we'll start with the story and then we will move on to the next part of the activity. So stay with me. So this book is called The Sacred Herbs. It's from a series called Come Learn About First Nations Culture by Teresa Muse, and the illustrations are by Arthur Stevens. One day, Matthew's friend Jeremy came to play. The children went straight to Matthew's room, which was filled with toys and other interesting things. Jeremy asked Matthew, "What's that stuff in this little box?" "Those are my sacred herbs," replied Matthew. "What are sacred herbs?" Jeremy wanted to know. Matthew put down the truck he was playing with and began to explain to Jeremy about the sacred herbs. In my culture, our ancestors used sacred herbs for many different things. Parents would teach their children the importance of the sacred herbs and how to use them. "It was my family who taught me," said Matthew. Matthew let Jeremy smell the herbs. Jeremy took a sniff and was amazed. "That smells great," Jeremy said. Matthew smiled and explained that there were 4 special herbs inside the box: sweetgrass, cedar, sage, and tobacco. "My mom collected these herbs and put them in this box for whenever I want to use them," said Matthew. "I use the herbs as a sign of respect to the Creator to let him know how thankful I am for everything I have received in life. I do this by sprinkling a handful of herbs in a special place, usually outdoors, then I say a prayer. Sometimes, when I am away from home, I will carry some herbs in a pouch just in case I want to make an offering," added Matthew. Matthew explained that long ago his ancestors made offerings of sacred herbs. "For example," Matthew said, "before cutting down a tree, my ancestors would sprinkle sacred herbs on the ground by the tree as a sign of being thankful to the Creator for providing the tree to use in their community. The wood from the tree was used for making fires so they could cook their food. It was also used for making tools and for building their wigwams or homes. Depending on the type of tree, medicines could also be made to help cure an illness or keep them healthy. There were many things to be thankful for, and offerings were made every day." "Are there other ways that sacred herbs are used?" Jeremy asked. "Yes, there are," Matthew said. "Sometimes our people will burn the herbs in a special bowl or shell. The burning herbs create a smoke, and because the smoke goes in all directions, it helps take their prayers to the Creator. The smoke can also be used as a way to purify the body. Using their hands, the people direct the smoke toward different parts of their body. It is believed that the smoke helps the mind to think good thoughts, helps the eyes to see the good things in the world and in people, helps the mouth to speak only good words, and helps the feet to walk only on good paths. Finally, the smoke helps the heart to feel happiness and love. When a person does this type of offering, it is called a smudging ceremony." "So, the sacred herbs are very important to your culture?" Jeremy asked. "Yes, they are," answered Matthew. "As long as respect is shown, anyone can use sacred herbs for the same reasons we use them." "Matthew, do you think your mother would give me some sacred herbs?" asked Jeremy. "Maybe," said Matthew. "Let's go ask her." And guess what? Matthew's mom said yes. Jeremy was so excited that he couldn't wait to go home and tell his parents what Matthew had taught him about the First Nations culture. So that's the end of our story. Again, it's called The Sacred Herbs. And what I'm going to show you guys is that I actually have a special shell that I also burn sage in. I'm of European descent, but I work closely with First Nations people, and I've been taught how to do a smudging ceremony for myself. So this is sage. I'm not sure if you can get a good look at it, but this is dried out, and what you do is you take it off from the main branch and you would put it into your shell. Smells very, very good. Depending on the type of year, there are other local medicines that are available, such as sweetgrass and cedar. But for myself, I have sage right now. So when you light this, you should never light this by yourself if you're a child. You would always have your parents to help you with this. But what you do is you just light a little bit of the sage and let it burn into a little bit of a fire. And then what we want to do is blow the fire out so that there's smoke. So this smoke is what's used to smudge. In First Nations culture, you would typically take off your glasses and stuff like that so that as you are smudging, you're getting the full effects. So a lot of people, number one, they use it to cleanse their hands because these are the things that we use every day to do normal tasks. Some people will bring it up to their heart, and this is to cleanse your heart and feel good things and love and joy. If you were standing, you could bring some of the smoke down and smudge your feet, and that's to help you walk on a good path in life. And if somebody else is performing the ceremony with you, you would turn your back to them and they would smudge your back, and that is so that you are fully protected. Thank you guys for listening to my story today about the sacred herbs and learning a little bit about First Nations culture with me. I will be back to tell you more next week.